my fellow human beings, and welcome to episode 58 of the Best Plus Life. I'm your best host, Kristen, and today's topic is... Okay, I have to explain it. BFD. Is it big freaking deal? Or breakfast for dinner? Before we get started, I want to thank you all for watching. Please continue to watch, comment, share, like, subscribe, ring the bell, and please pass them on to anyone you think that they could help. With that being said, we have our challenges. We have our... I keep doing that. Why do I keep doing that? I have horrible, mirror imaging problems. Okay. Our year 2 challenges, which are our positivity planner, which I'm going to go over with you in just a second. Our movement, which is basically get off your butt. And then our alone time, which is spend some time just all by your lonesome. I know. Not fun, but you accomplish a lot, believe it or not. Okay, positive words from the week. I'm starting with Thursday the 13th. It's consistency. The quality or fact of staying the same, might as well have my glasses on, at different times, typically for the sake of logic. The 14th, Friday, significant, sufficiently great or important to be worthy of attention, noteworthy. Saturday is fearless, a person or action that is bold and brave, aware, objective, and realistic. Sunday, the 16th, is inspire, to move someone to act, create, or feel emotions, guide, or influence. Monday was insight, the capacity to gain an accurate and deep intuitive understanding of a person or thing. Tuesday the 18th is self-care, the practice of taking an active role in protecting one's own well-being and happiness, in particular during periods of stress. Wednesday was spirit, the virtually indestructible non-physical part of a being, which is the center of emotions and character, the soul. And today is prepare. Make ready, someone or something, for use or consideration, able to do or deal with something. Okay, yep, I'm filming on Thursday, and explain it all would just be more of a headache than what I already have. So yeah, I normally film on Wednesdays now that I've switched to Thursdays, which I really, really love, by the way, so I hope everybody is enjoying the Thursday episodes. It makes me feel more accomplished because I get the episodes taken care of at the beginning of the week, typically, not this time, for headaches beyond fathom. Even now I'm kind of struggling, but I'm going to do it because once I get this taken care of, which is hopefully not going to take very long, I will be able to relax. Okay, so breakfast for dinner. My husband's not a big fan, but I think he's not a big fan of having pancakes or things like that. So I'm making a Fritata-TaDa. Yeah. And instead of making a pancake, I decided to make a desserty type breakfast treat. So I'm making an apple crisp. Or Kris-P. However you want to look at it. Yeah, that's my play on words. Okay, so I'm basically flip-flopping what I was originally going to do. I was going to cook the apple crisp in the slow cooker, because that's what my recipe originally called for. And I was going to do the frittata in the pan like you normally do. The downfall is that I'm making this at 10 o'clock in the morning, and it's supposed to be dinner. And I figured, my husband, if anything about breakfast for dinner, he's at least going to want to have it hot. So I'm going to do all of the prep and get it ready to go. And then probably within the next hour or so, I will turn it on. And then I will hopefully be able to bring you pictures later on down the line. Of what it looked like and if it got a passing grade or not. Okay. So I got this, I always go to Pinterest because that's just how I roll. And this is Christine's Kitchen blog.com, but it is on Pinterest. And you can look it up under basically slow cooker. And she is actually making a ham, cheese, and veggie frittata. I'm not using ham, I'm using bacon bits. Oh, by the way, nothing probably too healthy about this one this time. I was going to try when I was going to make a whole different thing, and then, it didn't come together the way I wanted. Just like the whole day yesterday. So we just have to take it with a grain of salt, right? So she uses 8 eggs, I'm using 10. She uses milk, I'm using sour cream, just because I want to have a little bit fluffier consistency. So basically the concept is that we're going to whip the eggs with the sour cream, we're going to put them in here, and then you just throw everything else in there with it. Initially I had these are my potatoes, they're sliced, they're pretty thin. I'm hoping they'll get cooked. So I'm a little worried because they're raw. I was thinking about pre-cooking them, and I'm wondering if I should, because she doesn't call for potatoes in her recipe. So, do I risk it? The other thing is I had them soaking in water so they wouldn't turn brown while I was getting ready for the episode. And so what happens when you do that is some of the starch comes out. That's my spinny turn there. So yeah, I'm just gonna wing it because this is what I was gonna do. So I'm gonna stick with what I was gonna do. So we're gonna whisk our eggs, and I have some seasonings here. She doesn't really call for any. It's just eggs, milk, onion, bell pepper, cooked ham, cheddar cheese. And I am doing way more than that. So I might have to actually put it in starting earlier because I want the potatoes to be cooked along with the onion that she doesn't call for. And to top it all off, I am using frozen. So I'm really worried about frozen, come on, really? Like stir-fry vegetables as well. And I'm hoping that will lend itself to a little bit of liquid. For the frittata, so it'll stay on the moister side. She does say if you have any residual liquid left over to just dab it with a paper towel. She says she makes this pretty much every day. I don't know. Oh, not for dinner, obviously. Ooh, don't come out now. I thought I had a deep enough measuring cup, and of course it's backfiring on me now. I'm trying to get those pieces of sour cream, like, really blended in there. Trying a little air in there as well, but I don't have much arm strength. My whole body is just retaliating against me. Now, the nice thing about this frittata is that, yes, for the most part, it isn't that bad for you. It's got vegetables. I am putting bacon in, and I did put in sour cream. And you could cut this down by adding more egg white than egg yolk. Normally, I shouldn't say normally, but in the past, I have carried just liquid egg white in my fridge, but I haven't needed it for a while, so that would have been probably the perfect. I just wanted to fluff up as much as possible. And what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to put my onion in here. Some skin's got in there, fantastical. And I'm going to let that sit in there. And then I'm also going to do salt. Remember, eggs are kind of a canvas with which to paint. And if you don't put any goodies in there, you will be working with blandness. Okay, and then I have a little paprika here that I'm putting in. Whoa! A lot of paprika, apparently. I like paprika. And a little bit of oregano, I think. This was called for from another recipe, so I figured I'd let it serve two purposes. Okay, I did spray my liner with just, cooking spray. I think what I am going to do is, because I want these potatoes to kind of be closer to the heated surface, since they are raw. Again, very nervous. Okay guys, I am going to break out of what I was going to say, what I was going to do, and really quick just give these a little slight cook. I don't know, I just got really nervous all of a sudden, and I'd rather be safer than sorry. I don't want to mess it up, I just want to give this a quick, plus flavoring my potatoes wouldn't be so horrible, would it? Then I need salt. And pepper. I just felt it wasn't right once I got them in the pan. I'm just like, no, I don't feel right. You gotta go with your gut, Does that sound good? Don't fall. So I guess our actual dinner itself isn't too horrible, and our apple crisp does have apples, so yay. So there you go. Okay. So while I'm waiting for these potatoes to kind of get a little bit of, I don't know, they could probably deserve a little color on them as well. So let's get these guys up here. The other nice thing about soaking them in the water is it gets some of that extra starchiness out. So hopefully they'll crisp up a little better too. And I'm just going to get them coated in the butter, and hopefully once they're coated, it'll all come together. Okay. I do not have a report on the cookies yet. Made a faux pas there when I'm like, oh, I'll mail them Monday. Monday was Martin Luther King Day. I went all the way to the post office, and I'm sitting there, and I'm like, oh, look at this. I'm so early. There's nobody else here. Yeah, no. That is not how that worked, by the way. Okay. So I'm going to let this kind of just, I want to fluff it up as much as possible. And I think what I'm going to do, since I'm also adding some stir-fried veggies, is I'm going to put those in the potatoes and get a little bit of color. It's an asparagus stir-fry, so there's asparagus, carrots, green beans, cauliflower, yellow squash, celery, onions and mushrooms. There was. I swear, when you don't bring your glasses to the store, it's aggravating. I'm trying not to overwhelm, since I have so much other stuff. Whoa. Damn it. Well, I was trying not to overwhelm. I can't shove it back in. Well, maybe I'll just put some off to the side and I'll cook it with something else. How's that sound? Because this is going to be a lot for See, again, I'm just trying to get it all coated so it has like a basis of heat coming from it, so to speak. And especially with the frozen vegetables, I didn't want all that water mucking up our frittata. Same with the potatoes. The liquid from the potato is afraid it's gonna mess up our frittata. Okay. So, I keep walking away. I don't know if I'm doing myself any help here. I mean, technically, I guess in all seriousness, I could dump a lot of this in there. Like I'm doing some heirloom, like cherry grape tomatoes. Okay. And then I got more mushrooms, because you gotta know by now. I made tortellini soup, which was awesome, by the way, and I had some left over to freeze. And what else? I know I've used mushrooms several other times in the last year and a half. Have I used year and a half yet? I don't know. Alright. I want to get some of that liquid spud out of there. I think was my concern. Just with having the mushrooms that were. This is my hat my niece got me from Christmas. It's from Columbia College in Chicago. She goes there. I was finally cold enough today to wear it. Because, you know, with hot flashes and everything. Alright, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to season these up a little bit. I know I seasoned that. And I think I should season veggies too. This looks really good, you guys. You know what else you could do with this? Make an actual stir fry. Yeah, that would be really good. Or a pasta primavera type of deal, eliminating the potatoes, of course. I just gotta be careful I don't make them too hot, because my I forgot. My eggs will, well, I guess I want them to cook, but I don't want them to curdle. So, I'm not sure my brain is on securely today. Told you. The head is a pounding. She's a pounding. Come on. I don't want to overdo it like I did on the egg part. And I don't think I'm going to add the oregano to this part. Okay, let's see. I mean, they're not horrible. I think we'll be okay. This is a lot, though, so I'm a little, like I said, I'm a little concerned that it might be too much for our egg. Like whole bits in there. This will make it all okay for mankind. Because we're adding bacon. It's probably not even 2 whole slices, because who knows how much is actually in here, how many bacon pieces, you know. So it's going to have the illusion of bacon. And then I got to determine, based on how I pour my, I'm trying to see. They still have a good amount of crisp to them. They're warm. I think they'll be okay. I smushed my tomatoes, though. I'm kind of upset about that. Okay. So. This guy in there. Probably should have just done the whole onion in there too, right? And then we'll just see how much it takes to make it look well vegetableized. of these terminologies I use. So, how much veggies is too much veggies? Because this is what it looks like if you can get in there. It's a good amount. So, I don't know. Don't want to, I'm going to add the vegetables slowly. Maybe that'll help temper the eggs kind of like you would if you're baking. Let's see. And I want to get a good amount of everything in there. You'll have to forgive me. This pan is so freaking heavy. A little bit there. Get in there. Move around. I think she's about at her limit here. Still want it to look like eggs, you know? I really am struggling. Oh, golly. Okay. You know what? I almost could just... I'm almost just either going to add the whole thing and add a couple more eggs. That's probably going to be my... thinking. Whew. Okay. This one took a little bit longer. Okay. Shimmy, shimmy, shimmy. Okay, she's a beaut. I don't even think I need to add any more eggs. I really, really don't. Hopefully, she'll go over. I can't even lift this to show you guys. You saw me do it, right? Okay. I'm going to put her on super duper low. Like again, I said, I know I was going to wait to start it, but I'm a little concerned about my taters. So I want to put it on high for, let's put it on low to start. Just so I have it like cooking but not, overdoing it. And just to be bad on all kinds of sides bad, I'm going to add like one more shimmy shake of bacon. I wonder, when do I put the cheese in? Okay. Cover and cook. Okay. Okay. Is she... Oh, it does say cheese. Okay. I don't know. I felt like that was too soon. I don't know. If it was supposed to be something more mixed together, if it was just supposed to be placed on top. It doesn't really. It says sprinkle over the top of the eggs. And use a spoon to gently stir them back. So it is all getting mixed together. Measurements are at your discretion. I feel, you got to base it off what your family likes as far as veggies go, and how big your family is, so how many eggs you use. Sorry, I have my back to you. I cannot follow directions, as you well know. I'm going to take, I just have a little, rubber spatula over here. I'm just going to gently stir together. Just so it's all combined. Okay. And then a little bit more on the top. Just because we're being really, really bad. Very sorry. I'm being bad, just not. Cheese stick to my hand and I just flung it everywhere. Alright, that took a little longer than I thought. But I did add a step. I don't know that you have to because she doesn't call for potatoes in hers. So I'm a little leery if they're going to be done in time. Okay. That's done. And that took 25 minutes, guys. Oh my goodness. Hopefully this one will go way much faster. Okay. So what I decided to do is I'm making an apple crisp because I love apple crisp, for one thing. Love, love, love. I hadn't made one in years. And I found this one for the slow cooker, so this is where the recipe originally developed from. And I'm like, how can I adapt this? Because I really want to cook the frittata in the slow cooker. So I adapted it for a 13 by 9 inch pan, and actually I had these covered so they were not super duper brown. They're not super duper brown. And then it calls for 1 teaspoon of, here we go, their recipe, and to be honest, I forgot to write the name down. But you can look it up by crockpot apple crisp with cake mix, and I added the streusel topping part. So it's 6 to 7 medium Granny Smith, and I'm using Honey Crisp, peeled and sliced. 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. I'm going to say it needs more, but that's just me. 3/4 cup brown sugar, 1 box yellow cake mix. I'm using the butter yellow. 1 stick of butter. What is it? Spray crock pot and add apples. Yeah, see, that's the directions. So it doesn't have a lot of ingredients. But what I wanted to do with it, because it wasn't really like a crisp to me, it was more like a cobbler. So I decided to, because if you do a crumble or a crisp or a streusel topping on most desserts, it calls for some oats. So I brought some oats. It also calls for flour. So what I did was I thought I would exchange the flour portion with the yellow cake mix. Now, if this backfires, I have a feeling we're going to still be able to call it crisp because it's still going to be pretty tasty. I mean, you can't go wrong with butter, sugar, cake mix, cinnamon. All right. So this is like our flour portion. Okay. And then, try not to get it because it is very powdery and flying everywhere. Okay. Okay. With me so far? I've never done this. Just remember this. Every time I do a recipe on here, I've never done it before. I'm doing it with you for the first time. Okay, 3/4 cup of brown sugar, which seems like a lot. And I'm wondering if I want to do, I'm going to split it. I want to split it a little bit and put a little bit on the apples, maybe, so they'll caramelize a little bit. Yeah, and then I'll do the rest of it in the actual. I'll just sprinkle it on the top, just to give it a little. You know what happens to brown sugar when it gets all warm and melty and yummy, right? Yeah, so that's what we're doing. A couple handfuls should be plenty. Now, if I wasn't making this for my husband and myself, I would definitely be adding raisins. That's just me. I love dried fruit. I love fruit and like all kinds of stuff together. Okay, so then I'm putting almost more like the 1/2 cup of brown sugar in with the cake mix and what am I doing? Okay, I'm going to shake a little bit of cinnamon over all the, just so, and I'm going to stir that because I think you should, right? Get it all like, just to make sure it has a cinnamony. Smells good. I think that's it. I'm done. We can go home now. That's amazing. Smells awesome. Okay. I need a little more cinnamon down here at this end. I do have some that I haven't stirred yet, I guess. That was my current computer burping at me. Okay. Where do you think you're going? Okay. It's trying to escape. It knows its fate. All right. Alright, quit play. Why is it that when I start cooking I feel better? Okay, now, the cinnamon for this part, instead of teaspoon, and since I cinnamoned my, my apples, which I wasn't going to do initially, I think total we've added enough cinnamon. Okay? Plenty. Okay, now I want to take my pastry guy and just get it started, get them all incorporated, get them mixed together. Okay, because I want it to be evenly distributed. That's why I didn't, because what they talked about was just sprinkling it over top of the, you know, because it was going in the slow cooker. Sprinkling it across the top, you know, like you would. But I love streusel or crumb. I don't know what y'all call it. Everybody calls it something different. Okay, I think I have them well. Until I dumped it on the counter. Alright. Now it's a lot, so that's why it calls for a stick of butter. I'm going to go grab a knife real quick and cut them into like little cubies. This is making me sad. It's just sitting here. So, I just made it worse. Okay. This is butter knife I used for the potato mixtures. I'm just gonna. It's been sitting out, so it's definitely not cold. And I know when you're doing a crumble, I don't know what they say to do it cold, but so it stays flaky, buttery, crispy. I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking of pie crust. I probably should be breaking it up a little more, but I'm gonna pastry cut it, so it shouldn't be too bad. And I have the oven preheated 375. Now, keep in mind, remember, this was supposed to be a slow cooker recipe. I have no idea how long it's going to cook for. I can guesstimate because I have the cake mix here, right? So I can guesstimate it takes in a 13 by 9 inch, 30 minutes, so I know at least that long. So, don't panic. Just like the cookies that I baked last week for Peyton and her friends. I still have to yet to see the. I gotta stir this a little better. I've yet to see the oats. They're all at the bottom. Can't do that one. That one's all wet. Okay. I don't know if anybody's done this before. You'll have to let me know in the comment section if you've ever made a streusel thing with your cake mix. I'm sure it's not out of the norm. Like I said, I don't feel I'm reinventing the wheel here. I wish I could see more of the oats. I really do. Where the heck are you? Let me get my glasses on. Maybe I'm just blind. No. It's just that the butter is mixing so nicely with all the cake mix and everything that you're just coming up with those nice little pea-shaped buttery gems, and it's got to be in there somewhere. I was thinking about adding more, but I want to see how it comes out with not a lot in there, if that makes any sense. Bear with me here, guys. I think we're getting to the home stretch. I would even say probably more butter would have been better, but it seems like it's all pretty well coated. And then you got to remember you're going to get some liquid from the apples once they start to, let me see here. Yeah, I got a lot of mixing to do. I need to get, I should have used a bigger bowl, I guess. The reason why I want to keep it on the drier side, and I did a pumpkin one like this not too long ago that was amazing. I even forgot to put the sugar into the thing, and I just sprinkled it along the top. And it was so good. It was ridiculous. They were like a pumpkin jump bar or something of that nature. And I made them for family. They were so good. I see the oats now a little bit. I'm still not happy with how little there is, but I don't want to overwhelm the apples with too much stuff either. I just want to get in here and make sure that each piece of cake slash brown sugar slash cinnamon gets enough butter on it. You know? You know. Alright. I'm a little nervous. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like a lot of it is stuck to the bottom. Probably could have used a little more butter, but I gotta try. I gotta try it without. I gotta make sure that it's all, you know, because I did put a little extra sugar on the apples and such, so I'm gonna make sure it goes into every like nook and cranny here, you know, so it kind of like encapsulates the whole mess. And make sure it's all well like mixed around. Everybody's getting covered. I'm doing the shimmy shake over here as I cut my head off. My camera's lopsided today for some reason, I guess. Once I get it into the cracks and crevices, come on, get a little flatter. Apples. Okay. I'm gonna spread it out. Okay. I think the apples might need a little help in this department, so I'm probably going to add a little bit of liquid somewhere down the sides, just so I can get kind of a crisp, you know how it gets moisture in some spots, and then it's got the crumble. You want to make sure you get a little bit of everything everywhere. Yeah, I'm going to say for future reference, I would definitely do a little bit more butter, and I would do a little bit more oats, because the ratio of oats to is very off. But I was combining 2 to 3 recipes together, so bear with me. That wasn't their recipe's fault, that was mine. I feel like I could essentially take, my standby applesauce, kind of do like a crumble, like plop it on the top so it's like, I think I'm going to try that. So I'm like plopping it like you would plop like blobs of butter, right? So, oh, I really like that idea. Again, hopefully it doesn't backfire on me. And I think I will do it with a little bit more cinnamon too, because I'm a cinnamon girl. I love cinnamon. Okay. So I'm gonna go get that. I have an applesauce from like 2 weeks ago, open still in the fridge. And I'm just gonna go in here. Hope for the best. It's gonna give me a little bit of the liquid that we need, a little bit of the crackles, right? Especially if we fling them around a lot. We always told our kids, don't fling your food. I just think we need this moisture. I could be wrong. I'm not going to, get too carried away. But the nice thing about using applesauce is that it is actually apples, so I don't have to, what do I want to say? Worry about it overpowering the apples, because it's just more apples. Okay. So hopefully, people, hopefully, this turns out amazing. I got a sink full of garbage, which is not going to be fun. And I think I'm going to start out with it covered, only because I'm just nervous about it burning. Oh, it's all wrapped up in me now. Again, seriously, people. Okay, what is going on? What is going on? All right, and then I want to do some shimmy shimmies. Probably too much, but oh wow. Okay, and this I'm gonna have to check after. I'm not even gonna close it down. I'm gonna have to check it after. What did I say? Half hour? Because that's how much it would take if it was just. Oh, I gotta fix my shelves again. Take if it was just regular cake. I don't need to hold this, Alright. In she goes. I don't know if I should leave the top on the whole time. That's going to be the other dilemma. So I will check it after halftime. 15 minutes. Okay? Alright. So I'm going to get cleaned up. This is taking forever. I'm so sorry. How long has it taken us so far? 43 minutes. But hopefully, once I've got this all taken care of, I'm just going to come back and tell you how it turned out. But we're probably going to have to take the aluminum foil off. So I'm going to pause you for the 15 minutes, and then we'll come back and we'll see where we go from there. We'll only be able to judge it based on how much it's done. All right? I'm going to put you on pause. I'll be back in 15. Alright guys, our first 15 minutes is up. I got all the dishes put in the dishwasher. I'm just waiting to run it because silly me ran it during the thing last time. The episode. Oh, forgot to, by the way. The pan don't go in there, but the spatula does. Alright, I took a peek, so I kind of cheated. And it smells amazing, but it's still got a long way to go. It's still pretty dry on the top. So I'm going to keep the aluminum foil on. I think I'm actually going to take it out. All right, and I'm going to seal it up. Because I actually feel as though, and you know what I do? I have a little bit of apple juice. So if all else fails and it really just does not come together, it will definitely We're going to go for that other half hour. We're going for that other 15 minutes to total the half an hour. And fingers crossed. She looks pretty good. I looked at our frittata. Excuse me. I looked at our frittata. She looks pretty good as well. I got it on low, and mine runs as you have the option of picking 4 hours high, 6 hours high, and then there's an 8-hour low and a 10-hour low. And I do believe I put it on the. I do have it on the 8-hour low. If I find that it's still kind of really jiggly and it's getting closer to actually eating it, I will turn it up, obviously. And I will definitely, hopefully, remember to take a picture for you this time. All right, I'll be back. All right, I've come back because I cheated and I looked real quick. I definitely need some sort of liquid. I don't know what would have happened with it in the crock pot that's so different than the oven as far. Maybe because it's flat. Anyway, it's starting to, but I'm still not happy with the fact that it's still got so many dry spots. So I'm just sprinkling little bits of apple juice in places. I don't want to load it down. I don't want it to be soggy. Okay. That probably wasn't even, but maybe a tablespoon. Okay. So I'm going to reset that. Put a little oil on it. I'm going to reset that for, we'll try 10 minutes. So then we'd probably be more at the 25-minute mark. All right, I'll be back. Okay, so I started doing some things while I was waiting for the timer to go off, and I'm like, why am I not doing these on camera? Everybody would probably appreciate some of this. And you could do them or alternate them based on how comfortable you are with your fitness level, keeping in mind that you should ask a doctor if you should be performing these exercises for whatever reason. If you have issues or illnesses or taking medications, you should always check. But I was doing things like standing here and I'm counting down and I'm going, like doing arm things where you're like very precise, kind of pinching, and like as you're going down, you want your hands to actually go up, so you're going to feel a tightness in the back of your arms. But then as you go up, you bring your hands down and you feel like a nice long stretch along here. So I was doing these, a little bit of these, you know, very controlled. You want to kind of envision a balloon here and you're trying to deflate it. Right? So you're getting some arm movement there, taking care of the wings. Peyton calls them bingo wings, I think. Anyway, so that's one thing I was doing. And then I started doing some dancing, and I was just doing some crazy little moves, like side to side with the hips was always good. We need to get our hips fluid and our tongues fluid. But then I started doing kicks. And based on what your comfort level is, you can just be going out to the side. But just make it a very precise movement. Don't make it just something you're just lollygagging up there and down. You want to control it up and down, up and down. Okay? So if you think about it, you want to squeeze your thighs together as the legs coming down. So up, squeeze, up, squeeze. Try to keep the butt tight, squeeze, up, squeeze. Or you can get it higher. If you want to do higher, try and keep so you're not leaning too far over like I just did. But, right? Then if you're comfortable with the kick, do your kicks, right? Or Or you can do some variants of that, like stick to the same leg. That will test your balance. But I figured I'd let you know those little moves I was doing while I was waiting for the timer to go off, because it's something you can focus on. I was thinking that you could do arm circles, nice small ones forward, keeping your hands up, and then go back, nice tight, right, and then get them bigger and bigger as you go along. That helps with the underarm, so keep them controlled. And as you get them bigger, still keep them controlled. You don't want them going all willy-nilly. It's a very controlled, precise movement, working every part of your shoulder, your underneath your shoulder. I had a brain fart there. I just don't know. But keep them, and then get them bigger. Again, still keep them controlled, and then go back or forward, whatever I was doing the opposite of. So that's going to keep this nice and tight. I've tried to start walking again. That's one thing I'm trying to do. All up in my Facebook news feeds, I'm getting, my old 5K run things. It's enticing me to try and move forward here with exercise a little bit better. I like running better when it's cold, so this is a little too cold. But fingers crossed, I'll be able to get out there shortly. This smells so good. I hope I don't make it too wet now. Let's see where we're at. Oh! That sign does not want to stay up. Whoa! Now, it still needs to cook some, so I'm going to take the top off now and let it cook for, I don't know. We'll just keep an eye on it. Okay? But yeah, we definitely got it fluffed up a little more. I'm a little more excited about that. So let's do timer. 10 more minutes, guys. Sorry. Okay, but do those exercises, do moderations of those. If you can't get your legs high, keep them low. Just lift up off the floor just to check your balance. So you're making sure your core is working and your hips are working. It's keeping you upright. I'm noticing as I'm aging that I'm finding, you're not as balanced as you used to be. And it's not so much that you're dizzy. It's just that you don't feel as heavy as you used to. I don't know how to describe it. It's a very weird sensation. So practicing keeping your core tight, lifting one leg up off the floor. It doesn't have to be high, it doesn't have to be for long. It's just testing, making sure you're keeping up with your system. You want to make sure your system is working correctly. You do it with your appliances, you do it with your computer, your phone, any kind of thing you plug in your house, you keep track of, but we don't do that for ourselves. So do that. And I'll be back. Alright, so we got a couple minutes left on the cake. I think it's pretty much done. It is more of a cake. I'm a little disappointed by that, and I think it's probably because of the stuff that I added at the end. Maybe if I had mixed the applesauce with the cake mix a little bit, kind of like I did with the pastry cutter, might have worked out pretty good. But I came on because I wanted to show you what I've been doing with the frittata and how I've kind of been wiggling it. And I know it's kind of helping get the cooked stuff off the sides, but it's still good and runny on the inside. I'm not real worried that it's going to overcook before, and I'm hoping setting it at the lower setting will help cook the potatoes a little bit better. Fingers crossed. All right, so here it is, my apple crisp. I don't know how crisp it is, but definitely would have added more oats. I would have liked more oats in it. I think with the cake mix being as big as it was, I definitely could have added more. I probably incorporated the applesauce if I was going to do it with the apples themselves, and that would have added some moisture, possibly. Things to do for future reference. I would like to try cooking this in the actual crock pot, but I can just see me now getting this all done and then like me dropping it. Okay. So here she is. A little liquidy yet. I know it needs to cool, but check it out. It's all done. Maybe. Maybe not. No, it's done. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, she's done. So, I want to try it. Maybe I'll just grab a little taste. Definitely could probably use either whipped cream or ice cream. I got a little ice cream maker from the Goodwill. I'm gonna start trying some recipes. Okay, just in that little bite right there, this is so ridiculous. It's not even funny. And I didn't even get an apple. Oh my gosh, that was so freaking good. I don't even want to take any more because I don't want to take any without having ice cream with it. But, oh my gosh, I wanted some apple. Okay. Oh, you're going to be a stinger. Okay, you see I got a full, it's steaming. Got to cover that over. I'll just take that chunk out. I got to make sure apples look done. I just want to make sure that the cake Oh my gosh, you guys. It's another hit. Again, I think some substitutes I could have done. Skip the butter altogether and just use the applesauce as the proponent to make the crumble. Add more oats. You can definitely do this with other fruits. Stone fruits are particularly good for stuff like this, like your peaches, plums, that kind of thing. Apples are always good with this. Blueberry. I don't know how about strawberry. Strawberries, because they don't have a kind of outer, might crumble, like turn to mush, but it might be good. Who knows? Could probably do anything if you wanted. Okay, I'm done. I've talked too long. I've gone on too far. I'm gonna call it. It's delicious. Make it now. I'm just kidding. Make it when you get a chance, but it is delicious. And just because this episode is this long doesn't mean it'll take you this long to make it. I promise. Now that you have all the things, it was more like 35 minutes total. Now, thank you all so much for watching. And with that, I want to say have a good day. Go do great things. Be your best self. And please live your best blessed life. Thanks for watching.